So it seems that we've got a very shiny new Eldari model for this year's Warhammer Plus model. Let's take a look at Infinity's Lament. Hello and welcome back to Warspec Tactics, where today we're talking about one of Games Workshop's model reveals that we sort of knew was coming at this time in the year. Since they launched their Warhammer Plus subscription service 4 years ago, each year they've basically had a Warhammer 40k miniature that's locked to that service, generally being some fun individual characterful ones for their factions. Out of the previous 4 years, I feel like nothing really topped their initial Vindicare assassin that they had. That really did feel like a bit of a next level effort. Really quite a cool model, both in terms of his looks and lore in the first place, and then perched in a pretty awesome bit of Shattered Imperial statuary. From the years after that, in year 2 we had Azrak the Annihilator, the World Eater's Terminator that harkened back to some older style Warhammer 40k art, trying to redo an all very retro looking miniature for modern 40k. In year 3 we had the unique Cadian Catacomb Sergeant, again evoking some classic Imperial Guard artwork with Power Sword and Hotshot Lasgun, and then for the last year we had a standalone Inquisitor with a couple of little minions to announce his decrees, Inquisitor Ostromandius and his Vox Servitor and Servo Skull. In general, most of them have been pretty well received. Maybe the Retro World Eater was one that appealed to some more than others, and the Catacomb Sergeant feeling like a bit more of a low-scale offering than the other two. But for the quality and feel of the miniatures, I think most people have quite enjoyed them. This year though, it looks like we've got our first offering for Xenos, and it's a new Eldari Spiritseer, a mini diorama on a bigger base. I want to say that might be a 50mm base perhaps, and it's called Infinity's Lament. Spiritseers are the Eldari Psykers that specialise in maintaining the Wraith constructs and reanimating them with slain members of their craft world, drawn from the Infinity Circuit to serve once more, something that's abhorrent to the Eldari and only done in the most dire of needs. Some craft worlds, particularly Iyanden, as this guy's painted up in, basically thoroughly rely on these ghost warriors to fill their ranks though. Iyanden's been rather critically endangered ever since High Fleet Kraken devoured a great chunk of the craft world. In my opinion, it's really quite a fun and well executed little diorama. I think going a little bit next level really helps sell it as a limited edition fun miniature, as opposed to the more standard just guys on bases. Maybe feels like it's got some similar sort of vibes to that Celestian Sacrosanct Avalon miniature that they did for the Black Library. It's cool to see a Xenos miniature done like this. It's the first one for Warhammer Plus. I must admit they seem to have been rather restrained on the Space Marine side of things here. I guess that is 5 years and no loyalist Space Marine captains or lieutenants, as much as they've appeared as limited edition things elsewhere. The Spiritseer themselves looks at least fairly similar to the current one. It looks like they've got 2 rows of Wraithbone prongs on the back rather than just the one. It looks like they're reaching down retrieving a Spirit Stone from within the Shattered Wraith construct. Something must have hit that Wraith Lord rather hard to have punched through that durable Wraithbone. I must admit it looks like it's painted up really nicely here as well. A really cool rendition of the bright Iyanden colour scheme, and I feel like that really makes the miniature pop. As a Warhammer Plus miniature, it will naturally be paired with paying for the subscription from Games Workshop. The way that they work is that if you either sign up now for a 4-year subscription, then you'll get this one, and you're able to claim the miniature sometime after the 22nd of September. Otherwise, if you're paying monthly, you have to wait for 12 full months to have elapsed before you can claim the models. Current pricing on that is £6 per month or £50 annually, so $7 monthly or $60 annually. So it does mean that the yearly subscription is quite significantly cheaper compared with paying monthly. At least in theory, if you do value this at the same sort of price as Games Workshop character miniatures, at least on paper it could make up a good chunk of that overall cost. And it does feel like these character models are maybe some of the best selling points of the subscription service. I guess otherwise it depends on how much you value being able to watch their animation and streaming things, and if you get any good value out of their army builder, which only allows you to make multiple lists if you've got this subscription. I'm sure a lot more people will be a lot more tempted if it actually came with the full game rules built in, but that's not the case and you still need Codex unlock codes. To go alongside the Spiritseer, there's a Sigmar one with a Necromancer called the Summons. Another really quite a cool diorama there, basically a Necromancer calling the Death Rattle skeletons from the grave, reinforcing the Legions of Nagash to go marching across the mortal realms, no doubt. Again, looks pretty nice, and I feel like that one's probably going to be pretty well received too. The way that the miniatures work is that you get to choose one or the other, and then you have the option to buy the second one that you haven't chosen if you desperately want both of them. Quite nice to have them both feel rather equivalent though. 2 little mini dioramas that feel just a bit more level up compared with a very slightly different posed HQ character or something. Here's a couple more pictures of the Spiritseer though, a bit more of a zoomed in look at the model itself and then the back of it. It's pretty epic painting on all that yellow there. And for comparison, here's the regular plastic Spiritseer. That one may be in a bit more longer wraparound style robes as opposed to the sort of cape that this one has. Otherwise the staff and styling is pretty similar. I wouldn't imagine they'd do any different data sheets for it. I guess it wouldn't necessarily be the easiest miniature to proxy in-game given that the base size is vastly bigger. I don't know if you might be able to just about mount it on a smaller base if you wanted it to be a bit more functional in more normal 40k armies. I guess in more casual games it might not be the biggest deal in the world. You just have to reduce the range of any auras and stuff appropriately to compensate for the bigger base. In the 2025 Eldari Codex, the Spiritseer doesn't join units anymore, being more sort of an Eldari tech marine, gaining lone operative when they're near Wraith units, as well as cancelling out their Wraith size and making the leadership better. They can nominate one target for Wraith units to get sustained hits won against, and they can also do a little bit of Wraith bone repair work as well, healing a model from a unit within 6 inches, or healing one model D3 wounds. At the moment, Spiritseers and Wraith units don't tend to be at the forefront of Eldari lists, aside from some supporting Wraith Lords that are at least fairly efficient. I haven't really seen many of them being used in lists since the Codex came out. It does feel like it's an overall section of the Codex that could do with a bit of a lift really. It'd be quite nice to see some Iyanden Ghost Warriors taking to the tabletop in anger once more. In any case though, let me know what you make of the new Spiritseer sculpt, Infinity's Lament. Let me know if you'd be tempted to try and pick it up, either via the Warhammer Plus subscription or via second hand somehow. I'll leave that there for now, but feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics if you'd like to see more like this. I'll certainly keep the regular 40k videos coming, with new ones out just about every day. If you've been enjoying all the videos on the channel, I would just like to mention that Auspex Tactics does have a Patreon page as well, and you can find that linked in the video description if you'd like to help support. Channel patrons get a fair few advantages, seeing certain videos early, regular votes to see what sort of things come next on the channel, and automatic entry into the regular prize giveaways with a chance to win some big model kits each month. If any of that sounds good to you, or you'd just like to help support, the link's down in the video description. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.